Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a grand campaign event for you. Our first round is going to be the Hagerstown Turnpike, followed up by the Garland stand. Before we get into this, thank you to our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like to support, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. So our regiments for today, on the CSA side, you have the 11th Mississippi, 42nd Pennsylvania, 30th Ohio, Davis Brigade, 12th Virginia, 1st Kentucky, Pickett's Brigade, Alabama Volunteer Corps, 15th Alabama, and the Shenandoah Regulars. On the USA campaign side, you got the Iron Brigade, Colquitt's Brigade, Hampton's Legion, 1st Delaware, 17th Michigan, 9th Corps, 11th Pennsylvania, and Irish Volunteer Brigade. I will note, 11th Pennsylvania balanced over to the CSA campaign side to help with balancing. Another note is that the sides shown here, they're going to be flopped for the first round, so CSA will be on Union, Union will be on CSA, and then for round 2, they're going to switch back to the sides that you see here. Anyways, server pop for today is currently 233 in balances, 1 towards the Union side, which is CSA campaign again. Artillery wise, CSA side, they have 7, Union has 13. So overall, this imbalance is 5 infantry wise in favor of CSA, and I'm sure they're going to appreciate that. Your frontline reporters today, representing your CSA campaign side, who again's on Union this round, you got Shifty from the 1st Kentucky. They're on artillery, having fun there. Opposite end of things, the Union campaign representative, you have Lucian from the Iron Brigade. Appreciate these guys so we can see what's going on the ground while also seeing what is going on in the sky. So, if there's some noises like in my mic, apologies, there's just a lot of stuff going around outside and inside my house, which perfectly fine, but that is that. Anyways, Hagerstown Turnpike, it's a 24% ticket advantage to the attacking Union side. The weapons that the Union has, they have the 14th Brooklyn Regiment with the Enfield, and they also have the 6th Wisconsin Regiment with the option of the Lorenz and the Springfield 61. CSA side, on the other hand, they have the 9th Louisiana with the option of the Springfield 55 and the Springfield 42. So they got Buck and Ball, and then the 1st Louisiana Zouaves is also on the CSA, and they have the option of the Mississippi and the Springfield 42. So whole CSA side, they have the option to get the Buck and Ball shotguns, which can be really good on this map. However, as of late, especially with the ballistics update where the bullet spread for weapons decreased by 60%, this map has kind of changed a little bit. So Union will generally like to push up on this right side, as some might call it Victory Hill, and then they will either push up here and just try to engage the CSA, maybe Cap Point, which is in the middle of this kind of open area here. You also like to see Union go out to this far CSA right side to maybe get in a shootout and collapse in on point. CSA defense kind of countering that. They just kind of form a line here. They might have some guys in the woods sometimes, just kind of countering the Union. They have a pretty strong defensive spot. And you might not think the Buck and Ball will do that great in the wide open field here, because it's shotguns, right? They're very good close range and not so much far range like we're seeing with this. But the issue is that if Union ever wants to early cap the point to stop the black timer, they've got to run out into this open field here. And CSA, as you can see, they can kind of just surround this middle area and just throw lead into the center area. I mean, these Buck and Ball pellets kill within 33 yards. They wound past that. And I mean, even at closer distances, they're still, closer medium distances, they're very, very good. But we'll see what each side does. One strategy that I didn't mention for Union is they sometimes like to form a big line here in the open field, run up, cap point, and then fall back to their long line in the open field to draw CSA out into the open field, but also not be close to the point, and that will allow the Union to shred the CSA, who are then in an open point. But we'll see how things kind of change. CSA defensive line, looks like you got the Iron Brigade on the far right, mixed with FSB. Again, missed them, but they weren't on the cord sheet. I guess I got to remember that. They did this 2 weeks in a row to me. I'm kidding. It's fine. Glad FSB's here, though. You got 9th Corps. It looks like 1st Delaware on artillery here in the center. And then far left side, you got HL, Colquitt's Brigade, bringing a lot, and 1st Delaware as well. Meanwhile, a little further forward here, you got some Midwest Brigade guys, 17th Michigan, more particular. Union side, you got the 42nd PA, 30th Ohio guys are mixed in there. And a little to their left, you got 12th VA and a couple of Davis Brigade guys, it looks like. And then the Union center, you got 11th Mississippi, Pushing forward. It looks like they're going to go on the cap point, trying to cap it, maybe force CSA out of their little stronger positions. And then you got the PB and the 15th Alabama on the far left for the Union side. Nice arty shot from CSA. But it won't stop the Union cap. So, I'm intrigued to see what 11 Mississippi will do at this point. I'm going to assume they're going to back off and just try to kill CSA. Because at this point, right, tickets are fairly even. Union's trying to find a way to get a ticket lead. And bringing them into a more open area is definitely a good idea. Iron Brigade looking to counter the 11 Mississippi move. CSA already getting a couple good shots. That one, not so much. But Iron Brigade and FSB moving back on the point is letting CSA hold the point. Good response here from CSA. Already gets a good couple shots. Infantry moves up to hold it. And they're going to prevent the Union from stopping that clock. However, again, they're a little more exposed, which I'm sure the Union side will appreciate. This side, I know I haven't really looked at it yet, but they have, I mean, it doesn't look like there's that much of an elevation change, but it's not like these characters are super tall. So, I mean, even just standing right here, like, you can't even see the Union guys that are over here. It's a great defensive spot to be in on this map. And sometimes you'll see Union go in, but not doing that. And if you actually, the tickets so far are actually looking really good for Union. Generally, as an attacker, you want to be about even with a defender. That's like good. Obviously, you want to be more ahead if you can. If you're down a little bit, not the worst thing in the world. Being even is very good, though. And Union's doing that. And generally, you want to hit the defender down to engage by the 30-minute mark. So they're on good pace so far. It's been about 7 minutes since the round has started. There usually isn't fighting for the first minute or two, since groups are moving out to their preferred positions. Interestingly, the CSA actually stay out on the point, which I assume would be good for Union, and looks like they're going to start to back off now. But they successfully hold the point, doing a good job there. Union arty, let's see what they're doing here. I mean, they're rolling some of this stuff forward. I've heard this recently as an idea for Union arty to go on this right side. The snake fence destruction really allowing this to happen. But you can see here that the arty can kind of get a decent... It's not that great, but compared to the rest of the Union positioning that they have on this map, this arty spot is a lot better. Because, I mean, Union would otherwise have to roll the guns all the way up here. And you can see there's a couple of dead bodies here. So not obviously what you would want. It actually looks like CSA is starting to take a slight ticket lead here.
Prepare to withdraw. Prepare to move, 40 seconds. Prepare to move, prepare to move. Prepare to move.
So Union might have to change something here. Maybe it was 11 Mississippi going out, taking, trying to cap point. Maybe that's why the tickets are a little off in terms of a CSA favor. Again, Union's not in a terrible spot, but I mean, this map is really, really rough for Union, especially with that ballistics update. I mean, our pop probably increased. I mean, we're up to 240 now. Inbalance is still pretty good, all things considered. But actually, it looks like it's 10-man infantry imbalance, which is still within reason. It's about 15-man imbalance as that reason becomes too much. But it's really difficult for this map because Union, anywhere they can advance on this map, it's wide open field. They can't go in the woods. That's out of bounds. So they just, frankly, got to shoot better. And, I mean, they have the ticket advantage, but clearly that's not doing enough. But, I mean, CSA's got a lot of good cover. The most exposed group is probably IB and FSB on this side. And even then, these are long shots. Not necessarily easy, but CSA's hitting more of them, that's for sure. Got a little... Guys a little close to each other here.
Take your shot.
I don't know if they see each other. I mean, Union guys know CSA's there. I don't know if CSA knows they're there. Nice shot. And Berger just missed it. That's always the funny things. I mean, perspective changes everything. It's really funny sometimes. I mean, even spectating, you'd think you'd be able to see everything. However, sometimes, you know, you just turn the camera a couple feet and Whole new world there. So Union's trying to put a little more pressure on the center side, mostly because these guys off that hill have kind of started shooting down the center side of the map. CQB kind of noticing that, putting themselves in a position to at least continue putting fire. Maybe a little more exposed, but I mean, CSA is doing great right now. Obviously, I mean, they're up by a fourth of a stage, which, as a defender, you want to be up by a third to a half of a morale stage by the end of the match. Or at least whenever Union tries to cap point towards the end of the round. Generally want that buffer in tickets, because the moment charges happen, it could be a mess, but a fair amount of this is going to depend on if CSA is bringing buck and ball or not. CQB actually getting a little aggressive here.
Form it up! On the line and spread out.
Aim low, aim low, aim low. Take 10.
Got a couple, but 11 Mississippi shifting over, trying to get good shots, but a little slow there. So, I mean, CQB is going to take a couple of hits there, but it looks like they're just trying to pop out, get a couple shots, and then fall back, or get one shot. What is this? Midwest Brigade and 1st Delaware are, I think they meant to run up and get a flanking shot, but instead, 42nd PA caught him and is now charging him out. This is huge for Union. And CSA is going to lose a flag here as well. So, unfortunate move there from CSA. I mean, that's huge. Granted, CSA spawn is right in the center side of my screen. You see those 3 little flags there. I mean, that's where CSA spawns. So CSA doesn't spawn far away from the action. But, I mean, that's one of the CSA flanking forces. Now, if Union wants, they can really push up this side of the map. Not have to necessarily worry about their flank. 11 Mississippi pushing up center side again, trying to cap point, force CSA out into a closer engagement, maybe a charge. Which CSA is moving in quickly. CQB is rolling up.
Get to the point. Do not charge, gentlemen.
Maybe a little confusion here as some of their guys are getting awfully close to the 11 Mississippi line. They're also getting pincered right now. You got a lot more CSA. Some are trying to go in here. IVB and 9th Corps guys, they should not be running forward like that. But CSA is going to hold the point. CSA really just trying to keep that black timer going. You can't blame them. They had a slight ticket lead as well, so they can maybe afford this. But Union quickly responding here. Not really quickly, but, you know, they're starting to move up now. And CQB, the CSA left here is getting collapsed. And 42nd, if they want, could really push the pace. I mean, they have clear shots into the CSA blob. I don't know. I don't think they should be shooting at CQB, in my opinion. Looks like a couple of them started shooting more center, which is good. But CQB trying to get up on their flank a little bit. Midwest and 1st Delaware are going to get the flags. 42nd does kind of outnumber CQB, at least for the moment. But here comes 1st Delaware, so I guess that's just Midwest going off with the flags in the wood line. Union already overshot.
Guys. Don't overshoot.
So CSA holds the point, but Union's trying to push this pace a little bit.
That fire. Barrel's hot. Barrel's hot.
I think these are 42s. I think.
Shoot them out, gentlemen. Shoot them out.
Yep, I got 9 on flag.
Do not be afraid, gentlemen. They're just Yanks.
I mean, I can definitely see at least one of them shoots here.
Come on, Yankee boys!
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell.
Good
I know
shooting,
there's something
boys.
you can look
Good
at the
shooting.
sights, but I think these guys are taking the 42s, which would make sense at the close range. They're starting to overtake 42nd PA, which is what you would expect. Tickets overall slightly going now in Union's favor. And actually, CQB is going to charge 42nd PA out. They pull back. Got 12th VA, though, to get a couple of shots on these guys here. But that's a devastation of buck and ball right there. CSA do get their flag back. So, but overall, I mean, we're at the 30-minute mark. Both sides are almost halfway through engaged. This is optimal start here for the Union, and it looks like they're now going to pull it back as a team, kind of reform. I really wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do a similar thing. But we'll see, of course. The officers are in a Steam chat, so they can talk over a call.
Good shot.
Still going down. I think it dropped again. It dropped again, boys.
You can actually see a fair amount of these guys are taking the Mississippis, which are really accurate weapons. At least most weapons got a 60% decrease in bullet spread. Mississippi was 70 or 90%. I don't remember. I think it was 70. Because I think the Whitworth was 80 or 90. And the Sharps carbine rifle was 70% as well, I'm pretty sure. I don't necessarily remember the details. Anyways, it's generally a more accurate gun, but CSA returning to their original positions, Union reforming. I mean, tickets are going down pretty fast, which for a shootout like this you don't normally expect. So I'm intrigued to see how many casualties they're taking from skirmishing and out of line. Because again, usually in a shootout like this, you wouldn't see people dropping tickets like this. I mean, the historical rules event I watch tomorrow, which is the other EU event I watch, it's like the shooting doesn't go as fast down sometimes. Maybe people are just bad shots or there's better cover, who knows. But Union's formed up. They're going to push up again, try to do this again, which is not a bad idea. I get what CSA's doing, but you got to start reacting to Union strategy because right now these tickets are even. CSA should, in my opinion, start spawning in with buck and ball. And if you're concerned with buck and ball, the buck and ball shot not working at a far range, you can always switch to round ball and shoot with that if you want. But I really think CSA's got to not use the Mississippis or the other option of weapon, which is the Springfield 55, and they just need to load 42s, get buck and ball, and I mean, they should be able to throw the Union off here relatively quickly. I would expect anyways. You never know. Union already shoots through its teammates and lands short of CSA. Poetry. Anyways, 42nd and 12th, 30th Ohio trying to put up a little pressure here. CQB and Midwest over there really kind of put a halt to that. So that might fare better for CSA on point, especially if 42nd can't really get this Union right to push up and hold. And just like that, Union gets thrown off pretty quickly. CSA actually have a slight tickle lead. Maybe the Mississippis are fine. I guess just holding down this flank. I mean, you could just see, right, even though Midwest, they lost their flag and maybe like 10 guys from the battle, right? You saw how much of a difference it made because CQB, they tried to do this last time, and the CSA flanking force in the woods couldn't do much, which actually got the Union now charging in at them, that being 42nd. Which they can... The woods is out of bounds. They can get in there for 30 seconds, though, but CSA back there, Union wouldn't really charge that, so... But CQB sees that. They're going to adjust. And 42nd, both sides are kind of in an open spot. 42nd's probably at a little more of a disadvantage, though.
You're in a bad position. You are in a terrible position.
But they are. But so is CQB.
Let's move, but keep firing. Aim those shots.
Which you got the first Delaware guys on the right. I assume maybe Midwest with them, and they're going to pull out of there pretty quickly. I'm surprised they even tried to form a battle line there to get shots off. Yeah. I know you got to put yourself in not so great places if you're an attacker sometimes, but I mean, if you just go to those bushes there and probably do better. So Union first to drop, taking losses. Ticket's still fairly close though. But Union side, if they want, they could try to just mash push this side. Because, I mean, a move like that would force CSA to respond quickly to things else Union would defeat in detail, which CSA wouldn't have to move far, and with officers communicating in a call, they would probably respond quickly. The funny part is the next round Garland stand, it's probably going to be a repeat of this too. Union normally just sits back and shoots. They'll charge a couple, but it's Garland stand's a funny map. You'd think it'd be Union bias, it used to, but as of the past while, it's been CSA bias by a large margin.
Foul case, boys. Form a new line.
So both sides are turning to their original lines. We'll see if Union does it again. Again, they've given themselves a little bit of a buffer to, you know, if they want to sit back and shoot, rip the officer there.
Keep spacing, boys. Keep spacing.
But Union kind of adds a team pushing up this time. The big thing is this is probably really going to decide what happens on the point. Sure, there's going to be a lot of fighting in this open field where I'm looking at right now, but 42nd and CQB going back and forth on this Union right, CSA left really kind of decides if the Union on point kind of getting a pincher, which they're already very thinned out. So they're actually going to probably be forced out of here pretty quickly. And Union already missed. And you actually somehow have the CSA in the woods charging out the Arty Midwest going in here.
Hello! Hello! Hello!
Kill that officer. Oh, there's some over
It's
there.
not a bad charge there from Midwest. That'll get a nice couple of kills here. On point, though, Union still trying to take CSA actually backing off on that right side. Maybe the Union here actually getting a decent flank, being 15th Alabama and Pickett's brigade. Looks like, yeah, they're in a very beautiful spot here. Gotten to the side of CSA and kind of forced them off. So nice position from them. CSA is probably going to reposition either around here or they might just go straight in. Regardless, though, it looks like CSA left and center is going to push up. CQB sliding towards the point with HL and IVB.
Left to right and G. Left and right and G.
And Union's going to back off that. Tickets starting to go more and more in CSA's favor. About a fourth of a stage right now and growing.
Gentlemen, break low.
Shots fired, move up.
Good defense, ain't a bit of her.
The thing is, there's not a whole lot of guys in these woods, but they're really putting a hassle on the Union, 1st Delaware and Midwest Brigade. It's rough for them. So Union, I mean, their idea worked pretty early on, but CSA slowly kind of reacted, and they're now starting to get an upper hand in a lot of these engagements. So you almost wonder. It's definitely an idea. Again, just Union forming a big line in the open field here. I mean, that may or may not work. I mean, CSA would get a little bit of cover over here, but they'd kind of be wide open over there. So Union, though, is all forming up kind of on this right side. Most of the team is anyways.
11, form up right here on line. Get on line, get on line. Line up. Line up, boys. Full kids, full kids, full kids.
Ew, is that ankle?
Oh my
Who's
god,
Hank?
is that Hankel
What
over
the
there?
fuck is- who is
Oh god,
Hank?
it smells.
Who is Hank?
Jesus Christ, that's Henkel.
Who's Hankel, bud?
Man, it stinks.
Who's Hankel? Hankel's a legend.
Smell.
Jesus.
Sounds like the Minecraft movie when they saw the Technoblade pig. Random side note, but yeah, Union's gathering up. Again, the nice part about them being so aggressive as they have is that they are afforded time here to kind of dilly-dally and do what they want, which is what you would want in an attacker. Sure, the round hasn't gone how you'd want, but
V for violence. V for violence, boys. V for violence. Let's go, let's go.
looks like they might be charging, though, in a second or pushing up again. The thing is there's not too many places for the Union to hide on this map, so CSA is like, oh, we can't see the Union. They're probably over here or in the corn, but Union never goes in the corn. So, looks like you got some Union collapsing in, trying to maybe secure a flank here. 42nd and 30th going in on 1st Delaware, guys. trying to just pop some shots down that way. Or distractions, you got a lot of Union going here. The thing is, you got a large Union regiment being distracted by 10, 15 guys, which is not good for the Union side. I mean, just look at this. 11 Mississippi is... It looks like they're not on point, but I mean, they are heavily outnumbered in a shootout near the center area. And there actually looks like some of their guys on the left side are capping. So, man, that shot's close. And CQB, some of them getting a nice shot. It's really, these guys in the woods are putting a heck of a distraction for the CSA side. It's really kind of limiting Union with what they want. The one time CSA wasn't here, the Union did very, very good on this map. So, I mean, sure, these guys, CSA guys, might not... I mean, they're definitely getting enough kills to at least throw Union off, but... Man, that's a really good use of manpower. Hey! I mean, the thing is, Union can't go in the woods either. So, they're going to throw 42nd off. And now CQB, if they want, can just run right up and flank right into the Union side again. It's a rough equation for the Union side. They've got to start changing something up at this point, which, I mean, they're holding a lot better here. They've got some of the trees and shade and bushes, but...
Spread it out. Spread it out.
So, I mean, 42nd, 30th, 30 forming up. They're rolling a gun up here. Having fun with that. You got some more charging on the Union Arty, which definitely is not helping Union Arty at all. I mean, CSA... The thing is, CSA is playing this perfectly outside of losing that flag earlier, but that was just a good reaction from Union. So, I mean, this is extremely difficult for the Union side. It's like Union's got to form a big, long line and then have some guys, like, arch out to just shoot at the CSA in the wood line to at least distract from that. But it looks like they're just going to push up, maybe use these bushes as cover. At least more of a visual cover, not necessarily blocking bullets, but...
First squad, shifted right.
You guys have squads?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Union's right on point. They might as well try to early cap it to draw CSA in a little closer, which that little capping from Union actually does start to draw CSA a little closer. Union does drop into breaking as well. So they're going to push up right again, and they can afford to take a loss too, so pushing up this close isn't the worst thing in the world per se.
Aim low! Aim low!
Roll them boys, straight ahead. Whack them. Whack.
What a skill.
And low, boys, and
So
low.
CSA holding the point again. It's like, if Union want to caps, they really got to full commit this. I mean, sure, I mean... The thing is, CSA is defending, so they can afford to, you know, have guys, you know, flank around. But, I mean, Union, if these guys, like, sure, they're getting a great flank. Are they on point? No. So it's really making it difficult for Union to do that. It also just kind of feels like Union's outnumbered, which they're down 13. And then there's a 7-man artillery imbalance as well. So, I mean, that's a 20 infantry imbalance right there. So, that feeling of CSA kind of just outnumbering Union infantry-wise is it's definitely true. It's unfortunately, the Union already at least hasn't really been pulling their weight, per se. So, this is it's a rough situation for the Union side.
Second, up and over left, up and over defense, forming up in the road.
But at this point, if CSA drops into breaking, which they're very close to, Union can cap and win. So Union is right next to point, though, so they could just try to capture it right away, which would make a lot of sense, I would think. Because if tickets are an issue and you're not winning the shootout, if you full send point, CSA might charge you, which maybe that'll change ties and tickets a little bit.
Yeah,
Wouldn't necessarily know on that, or CSA might just sit back and keep shooting you down and then last minute go in. I mean, CSA is kind of holding pretty far back and they're still capping point here, so I would recommend Union to try to cap point, because if they wait till CSA its last stand, they're going to be in final push and they're not going to get CSA down enough. And if they do get them down enough the last stand, then they probably won't be able to kill all of them in the time that they need. Got some CSA putting a little more pressure out on this right side. IB popping in shots to PB. Holy, that was a great arty shot. Wow. That's, that's the type of Union arty that we need today. And actually, if you'll notice too, Union has really kind of backed off this far right side. They're kind of holding more center side of the map. Again, slight elevation change, which will give us a cover, and they got the bushes there as well. So, CSA, it's breaking. If Union caps at this point, they win. I really think, if it's possible, they should try to do it. Because at this rate, right?
Spread it out so you don't fucking die. Come on, spread it out. Skirmish line. We are dying. It's like crazy right now.
He's got a point. These guys are really clumped up. I mean, this is a lot better example. CQB, I mean, they're a little scrunched up still. They could definitely spread out more, but one-man spacing, which the fence here gives a perfect example of it. If you have one guy in guy in every little post, that's one-man spacing. You're still in formation, so you lose the least amount of tickets when you die, but you're still spread out, so it's a lot harder to hit you. Anyways, here comes a charge, if you even want to call it that, from 42nd PA and 15th Alabama, going in very spread out. And out of all the options that they could have done, this one was one that was not on my list. CSA got to countercharge this. They might push out to try to get some flags, potentially. It'd be a little far, though. I can appreciate Union trying something else, but you'd think that charging across an open field like this would be a bad idea, and it is. And actually, it looks like they are going to try to push all the way out. One, get Union flags, but Union's getting really close to final push, and they can knock them down now, then that's going to drop that timer soon, and they back off, realizing it's overextending. Although Goat Tees tried to shoot, and he missed. Cobb is up there is now waving his sword, and he dies. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Union really should just try to sit on... just try to sit on the point. Spread out as much as you can while still being in formation. I mean, at this point, it's almost a whole morale stage difference. There's really not a whole lot to do that. Really not a whole lot to do that. Wow. The greatest commentary here. But there's really not a whole lot Union can really do anymore. The best they can do is try to cap point and hope they can take it. But CSA has so many tickets that they'll just dive bomb everyone until they can win.
Spread out left. Let's go. Spread it out. Go, 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 go.
Got some Union having fun over there, but not going to change. Another thing is that you got 11 Mississippi and 42nd PA trying to cap on point. I know that PB and some 15th Alabama guys are getting a great flank here, but they're not on point, and that's the biggest thing. At this point, Union has to cap point. And you're getting great shots, but you're not on point, and all the numbers are going to matter, especially for Union when they're severely outnumbered. You even got guys from CSA going in as a flank here. First, Delaware getting a couple of nice shots in. Union, it's final push, clock down to 2 minutes. You got some Union charging for it. I mean, they're trying, but they're not going to be able to do a whole lot, unfortunately. And now CSA is starting to close in a little bit.
Aim low, aim low.
And I mean, Union tickets are essentially infinite. They can respawn all day, every day, but they have that limited time, and the limited time is not in their favor.
It's fine. Friendlies have got it. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's why I said alright.
Now CSA is going to countercharge, trying to maybe get some Union flags. Oh my goodness, look at how many 14th Brooklyn guys are dead. The red plants. So, this is going to be our first round here.
Keep up the hold, 42nd.
Union getting those flags back a little bit, at least trying to keep them alive. That's a CSA flag that's down.
Who fucking wants it? Look at them all running. Who fucking wants it?
So that's going to be our first round here. CSA getting total victory here, which no campaign for this week. I'm pretty sure they're starting it next week. They're still trying to figure out the new balance, but that is going to be our first round for today. So, really a near perfect, if not perfect round from the CSA side. I only say near perfect because the first Delaware Midwest group lost their flag on the woods at 1 point. But outside of that, they played a perfect game, and there's nothing the Union can do to affect that, really. Which is, you can argue if that's a good or bad thing, but CSA outright played perfect that round. I mean, there was no angle that Union could approach the CSA to where they wouldn't be flanked. And, I mean, you only had 10, 15 guys in the woods for CSA, but it distracted like 30, 35 people on the Union. And when they're down, 10, 15, 20 infantry guys, like that's just a huge momentum swing there. So, really well done there from the CSA side. Union, I don't think you should have many on artillery, especially when you're down like 10 or so guys initially. But it was a rough one for Union. Union only did good when CSA didn't have guys in the woods. But anyways, we'll see you all shortly for round number 2. And here we are with our second round Garland stand. As a reminder, the sides have swapped. So we'll look at our balance here. It's currently 12 in Union's favor, which again, CSA last round. Artillery-wise, Union has it, but they're only taking their officer. CSA has it as well, and they're having 5 guys go on it. So our imbalance is 13 infantry-wise in favor of Union. If you want to consider the artillery part of the balance, it looks like it's just 7 normally. So Garland's stand, it is a 19% ticket advantage to the attacking side, but don't let that fool you. It is a lot harder than it appears. It's similar to last map. You can almost argue it is a harder map for the Union side than the last map. But essentially how this will go, Union will generally push up on this side, the CSA right, and just try to hit the CSA here. Or they will send guys across this side of the map and just try to hit the CSA far left and go up here. That's why you got CSA guys kind of on both flanks per se. You have the point kind of stretching across this stone wall here. Now the weaponry for this map, this is where it becomes fishy for the Union. Is they have the 30th Ohio, And they have the Springfield 55 and the Springfield 61. You also have the 12th Ohio with the option of the Lorenz and the Springfield 61. CSA Defense. Both of their regiments, they have the same weapons. They have the 13th and the 20th North Carolina, both having the option of the Springfield 55, the Enfield, but more importantly, Springfield 42. And because this map is all wooded, CSA, if they all take buck and ball, which I assume they will just be able to unload lead into any Union attack, even kind of in a shootout. So we'll see how Unions takes this. It'll be very difficult. CSA, as long as they respond well enough, they should be very competitive in this match. Responding mean going from flank to flank, and it looks like Union's going to try to hit this far right side. I see 2 flags moving this way so far.
On this new line, get on the
And so you got pickets for Lund, Mississippi over on this side. Iron Brigade really kind of spearheading this attack for the Union. But the thing is for Union is that a lot of times they'll just get over here and get in a shootout with the CSA, which is not good because, one, CSA is buck and ball. But more importantly, the longer Union sits here, it's going to let CSA friendlies, it's going to give them way more time to reinforce over here. So Union can't sit in the corn. They need to get aggressive and charge. I know it's a little scary, but, you know, you just can't give CSA time to react.
Pour it in. Just shoot direct front. Into the corn.
So Union is starting to go up and over, though. They're kind of going the center route. They need to get the flags. I don't know why you have a Union group sitting back here. First Delaware, IVB guys. I don't know why they're sitting back there. They're like a quote-unquote flanking force, but you're shooting into a stone wall. That's really hard shots. So I don't like them being there. I wish they were up in the charge. That'd help Union out a lot because Lund, Mississippi has equal numbers to Iron Brigade. And I mean, all these numbers can make the difference. Union flag goes down.
Get those fucking Yanks! Get those fucking Yanks!
And with that, CSA is going to hold that. So I mean, not a whole lot of more CSA over here. If those guys, Union guys, pushed up, they might have had a chance. Meanwhile, on this side, it looks like it's more of just kind of a shootout happening. You got 42nd Artillerymen there. You got 15th Alabama, 12th Virginia holding down this flank.
Here we go.
See 1st Kentucky as well. But Union's now coming in on this side.
Hold your ground, 40-second brace.
And Union not really making a dent into the CSA line. And I mean, that's the thing too, is it looked like Union charged over here, trying to distract the CSA, maybe draw them in over there, and then have Union charge this side, but CSA didn't send everyone over. They didn't really overreact, per se. They sent a proper amount, and they completely held that. And I mean, look at 2 charges in, Union's already down half of morale stage in tickets, and ticket difference between each side is about 1/4 of a stage. And I mean,
Go straight.
it's a hard nut life. So Union did have a flag down there for a moment, but it looks like they picked it up. I mean, Union kept their flags, which is a good start for them. But again, a lot of this is going to be difficult. Union can't do 2-pronged attacks. The only chance they work is if CSA collapse in on one of the sides and leave the other side open. But we're getting to a point with a lot of these maps where the defenders can defend the whole width of the map. And defenders don't necessarily need to send everyone on their team to one side. It really makes it difficult for the attackers to outflank their opponent on a lot of these maps. And skirmish maps have become very one-dimensional on higher pop. It's just, all right, let's just group up, charge in, you know, let's just hope that we break through.
Да, там пачка налево, готовьтесь, с дороги будут идти. Пачка налево, да, вот огромная пачка налево, заряжай.
So, Union's gathering up. Looks like they're going to go off to this CSA right side, a traditional approach. Now, Union could potentially gain some tickets back through a shootout. I have seen that happen before where Union chatted out for a while, got a ticket lead, charged in, ticket gap even out, then they shot for a while. But issue being is that you don't have all day to do it. 45 minutes might seem like a lot of time, but in the case of War of Rights, it's not. So Shootout can work, but it
Yeah,
takes too much time.
See them do shit.
It's a really a mixing game for the Union. They gotta find a right balance.
Friendlies in front. Friendlies, we got in front. Come on, boys.
Please don't please don't speak American.
Try and protect. Make sure you have some kind of cover, boys. You're too precious to lose. Honestly.
A strategy I did see from Union on a other match is that they sent 4 flags with like 5 guys running down on the snake fence to get here to try to draw CSA over. And then the moment those flags got to the end there, the whole Union side charged in over here. And as they were charging in, they all respawned on the flags over there and then eventually charged around that side. They almost took it too, but as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, they sat way too long in the core, and it gave CSA way too much time to respond, and they got enough guys over there to hold it in the end. I almost wonder if the CSA left where we saw the first Union charge on this map, if that's the place to go for Union instead of over here. I mean, both areas are going to stuck, but this side has never ever really worked for Union. CSA's got a lot of rocks on their side to kind of hold that, which for the most part they are. I mean, you got some rocks right here, and then you got some more here if they want to use them, but they're holding a pretty aggressive stance up here.
Aim it low, boys.
What up?
Southeast south.
Keep firing, gentlemen. Doing the Lord's work. Keep it. We are. Keep it firing.
Make sure you all this information.
We have better shots than them. Keep firing. Keep firing.
I want to hear more of that. That's fine.
Gentlemen, we can win this. We can win this day, gentlemen.
Your mic is
I think it's great. I don't know who's critiquing him. That's a beautiful mic.
Right around, boys.
We can win, gentlemen. Keep it up.
Too bad. I'm not
It's a rough map. Definitely possible, but we'll see. Union almost down to engage now. Union has to catch up in this shootout, but they need to get CSA down to engage by the 30-minute mark, which it's not looking too good for that.
Dog is balancing.
He's throwing to the ground for me. What the fuck? Doug, what kind of witchcraft are you committing?
Dog ain't dead.
So, I mean, Union has a couple guys going center. They really kind of left this right side. And this is Garland stand. I feel like out of all the maps, I've watched Garland stand the most as of late. Or maybe it's just, you know, you watch these maps for long enough, you know, they all start blending in. Yeah.
You got a couple of them, I think. So a few draft.
The Wednesday NA event I watched, this is like the top pick map
out there, so not everybody knows.
Garland stand in Washington Street. Because I guess people think this is a even map, which I don't think it's the case at all. CSA already having some fun as well. Remember when I did the War of Rights 24-hour challenge? Me and somebody else, we roll up to these guns so that their tips were touching each other, and we both shot the cannons with a really low fuse time. And then the best part about it was that an infantry line ran right over our guns right when we did it. It was peak. So many died, team kill wise. But it actually does kind of make me wonder, because if you do 3 team kills as an infantryman, you'll get banned. Now, 3 team kills is what is generally accepted. Like, if you go up and shoot 3 teammates, great. But if you stab someone, you don't fully kill them. So, like, it's like 3 team kills, 6 team stabs, right? So, it's kind of a mix of that. I don't know what the artillery limit is, though. And I wonder if, like, if you get team kills with an artilleryman, if that adds to, like, let's say you spawn in infantry shortly afterward to get a team kill. That's the science we need. What are you staring at, soldier? Oh no! But I mean, as I was mentioning earlier, if we just look at the tickets on top, Union's definitely evened out those tickets. So I don't know if CSA has the buck and ball or not. I really assume they do. But if they're trying to shoot with buck and ball right now, it's clear the rifles are doing better. Got a little bit more distance here. Maybe Union shots are just better, but this seems to be consistent over the few times I've seen it. So Union's kind of worked it to where CSA is going to hit engage by the 30-minute mark, so they're doing a good pace. Union just hit engage as well. I mean, Union defensive, they've got a good amount of rocks over here. They all kind of clumped up, but I mean, their whole team is really crunched up here. They're hiding behind trees and rocks. CSA doing similarly, but these CSA guys here, 11 Mississippi, they're probably the most exposed. I don't know who's necessarily getting hit per se, but looks like you got some action going on center side here. PB pushing up, maybe trying to get some shots, but first Delaware is there, killing a couple. But it's kind of at this point, Union can, if they want, continue shooting out, trying to get a ticket lead here. They're eventually going to have to charge, though, just because of a time thing. But they can do it in either order they want, right? If they want to sit and shoot this out and get that ticket lead and charge in, they can do that, or they can just charge in and gain it back.
Kneel to reload. Bullets can't penetrate my selenium armor.
Oh my goodness. It'd be a little cool if as a spectator you could see the kill feed, at least for a moment. Like have a toggle. Because, sure, like, we see the tickets going down here. We know that people are dying for sure, but we don't know the exact rate, and seeing a kill feed would be great. I know why they don't have it in the game. When you start having a kill feed in the game, there is a good chance that an individual might start to think more of themselves than the actual team. Like, oh, I want to get as many kills as possible, whether it be so my name pops up the most or I have a high KD. So I want to know if I hit or kill someone. So I know that stuff. And then if you start doing that, people might think more individualistically, because it's like, oh, my KD matters. I want to be the best. And so what they'll do is they might go off and Rambo trying to get a nice kill from a far distance or whatever, instead of actually playing the team-based game. That's why a few of the decisions the devs have made, or mostly the devs' decisions have, from what I've seen, aligned around that, at least, is trying to keep this game as team-based as possible, which has its pros and cons, because War of Rights on a 250, 300, 350 plus server, right? It's an absolutely beautiful game, but a large part of this is that now that we have these large servers, a 50-man to 100-man pop server doesn't feel like that much anymore. And so I don't know if people do this. I know I would if I hopped on and I saw a small server. Like when I did pubs, I wouldn't record the smaller pop like 150, which in the past used to be huge. Anyways, here comes Union charging in. Looks like they're down a little bit on tickets already. May have been due to the charge first or just because they hit engage first, but here we go. So CSA at least holding the rocks. Looks like some of the Union charge center side as well, which a very spread out charge from Union's not going to be able to do a whole lot against the CSA. If you are the Union side, you just want to group up and hit the flank, try to take the flank, and then collapse in. When you do a spread out charge, you're just splitting yourself up against the CSA, who's already pretty spread out. If you just group up, hit the flank, you can outnumber your opponent here, maybe win, and then go in from there. Doesn't that mean you're going to win? No, but you never know. Anyways, Tickets growing back again in CSA's favor. It's about a third of a morale stage tickets right now in CSA's favor, but
Rally, rally. 11 Mississippi, rally.
so
Неужто наш чардж первый был скучный? Пошли.
Union reforming up. They didn't push any of their flags up, which not terribly surprising. You don't usually see Union doing that just because they don't want to lose those flags in the CSA line, and it's not like Union's charging that far forward. So if Union did take the ground, they could just walk the flags up, 20, 30 feet and be fine. I agree. What the heck? So, yeah, to what I was saying before the charge, though, it's like, because we have these large servers, 350, 400, 500 people, right? 100-man servers, which a couple years ago was huge, do not feel as huge anymore. And so people might not want to hop on and play because they're like, oh, it's 100-man. Oh my goodness, CSA Special Corps. Looks like they're just taking shots. I maybe thought they were going to actually go across, but it looks like they're just trying to put a little pressure on. Maybe use that buck and ball more, get a little closer for that. But, I mean, yeah, if someone hops on a game, I know I would probably do this, and I saw a server that was 100 out of 350, 400 full, I would be like, well, that looks pretty empty. I'm not going to hop in it, per se. So, it's the only unfortunate part about getting the increased server pop. There's a couple more reasons, but I mean, just from a battle perspective, the defenders can defend the whole length or width of the map, depending on how you're looking at it. But they can defend that whole length or width. Just put one big line, and the attackers can't outflank their opponent. As mentioned earlier, they just gotta spawn in and just say, all right, let's charge and hope we break through, which is a little unfortunate. I think it's great for Conquest, which has a lot bigger maps, but for these smaller taps, the server needs to be capped at like 250, 300 people, in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I think it'll make the game mode a lot more enjoyable. I think it's a lot more balanced around 200, 250 as well. So, Union's about to drop it to taking losses. That's about a half morale stage difference. Looks like CSA's got a couple guys up here, DB and SR. They're maybe just scouting this, but they might be able to get some nice shots over here. You got some Union over here as well. So, again, it's a difficult map for Union. The only way, right, at a server, I mean, what are we at right now? 250. It's about at that mark. I mean, 250 is not that bad in my opinion, but CSA can really kind of defend the whole length of the map. So the only way Union can play this is by either charging in, or they got to deceive their opponent, or sit and shoot. Sit and shoot, you don't have enough time. Charging in, you're taking too many losses. So you have to deceive CSA one way, or CSA has to react really poorly. And CSA, you're not, in these events, especially when the officers can talk over a Steam chat where they can instantly communicate with each other, it's very hard for defenders and attackers, for that matter, to respond poorly in these Steam chat events. Now, at least you would think. But anyways, how you deceive your opponent is, as mentioned earlier, right? You charge everyone on this side, send all your flags over there, so that while you're charging over here, they're respawning on the other side. Stuff like that. Just try and do stuff that'll catch your opponent off guard, because the only thing Union has done so far this round is sit and shoot and charge in, and CSA has been able to respond to that relatively easily. Also, you'll see this. I don't know if they're doing this. We can watch. Looks like they're going to go. I'll make this point afterward. You'll note that they all stop to get their reloads and bayonets. But here they go. Oh my goodness, that first little wave there got destroyed. CSA flag going down. That's a huge thing for a charge here. Making sure they can't get their respawns. Like that Union guy right there. He ran right past that flag. Great wipe there from Union. And Union's actually, for the most part, charging this far right CSA side exactly how you should do it. And if CSA doesn't respond quickly, which a lot of guys are either sitting back, not knowing what's going on, or just shooting, Union's actually able to push up and get a corner. Beautifully done from Union. Kind of a poor response from CSA. You got to have a mix of both. So, great job from Union here. And CSA doesn't look like they want to push the Union off that. So, really great charge from Union. 12th VA kind of sitting back. Same with PB. I don't know why they did. Maybe they were told to, but if you just let the whole Union team run up on your flank, Union's going to outnumber because they're sending their whole team in there. And it looks like they're going to be able to hold that. Now, CSA does hit ticket losses. Tickets are still in CSA's favor slightly. We'll see what the main spawns for CSA do at this point. However, they're down actually 3 flags. 3. That means they all got to spawn all the way over there, which is kind of far away from the fighting. And if one of those guys dies, he has to spawn main, because the only other way he could spawn is with the flags, and the flags are down. Now, they have a 5-minute despawn timer, but if Union keeps them down, I mean, 5 minutes of fighting is a long period of time, especially when we're starting to get closer and closer to breaking. Anyways, the thing I was going to say before the charge is that you saw the Union guys, a good chunk of them, got their reloads and bayonets. They went from independent firing to stopping that to reload. It could be a tell for a defender. If you see your end to be independent firing and then he stops independent firing, you're like, oh, they're either going to volley or charge, which 90% odds say they would charge, which Union did. FSB kept the shots. You heard Grape yelling that, so good on that part. But anyways, here we go. CSA spawn starting to move up. HL and CQB. I think they're trying to collapse in, but they don't realize CSA are starting to roll up on the flank here. Buck and ball shots going off here. You can, I don't know how well it shows up in the recording, but at least for me, you can see the pellets going off in the air. It's really nice to look at times. Oh, Doug, you got to hit that shot. Doug, no. CQB trying to assist, but similar thing. Union's got a... CQB is kind of playing a little aggressive here. They do have some rocks, though. But Union doesn't want to get picked apart here in detail. 42nd PA, 30th Ohio, trying to run behind the back. I think they're trying to get the flags. Union doesn't see them as they're trying to storm head into where CQB is at, and now where 11 Mississippi is charging. At least I think it's 11 Mississippi. Yep. So CSA wins there up top. The 42nd PA, 30th, catching Union off guard or able to get a flag back. And it looks like they're going to get both flags back. They got a Union flag down. You got a couple more Union guys in the center here. And it actually looks like CSA is going to take the ground back. Wow. I think it's 1, 2. Is it 3 Union flags are down? Jeez. So now it's the inverse. It looked so good for Union for a second, but actually they got all 4 flags down. So Union main spawn's a lot further away, and this map just got a lot worse for Union. Because the issue is that if they want to sit back and kind of shoot it out with the CSA, if a guy dies, he's got to spawn at main, and I mean that's a minute and a half hike, not including the time it takes to get your bayonet and reload for Union. So Union might just go straight in and charge in trying to get those flags back, but if they charge in, they're going to go down to a huge deficit. Union had a great charge. CSA reacted poorly, but Union overextended and got flanked from the side, not realizing maybe that those CSA respawns got it quickly. I mean, great little flank from the 42nd, and I assume 30th is with them. So, that all being said, great job from CSA, and actually it looks like the 11 Mississippi is going to push up here, and I don't know how long they're going to hold here, but not a bad idea, right? If they know all the Union flags are down, they see one here, they're not just going to let Union run up and take it. They're going to kill a couple and probably force them to spawn back at main, so it's not a terrible idea. But Union's in a rough spot now. But we'll see what they do.
Everybody loaded?
I got loaded.
Yeah.
I'm checked.
I need to hear more checks than that. I don't know.
Check.
We're good? We're good?
So a couple of Union guys are going forward. I think they're trying to get the flag, but Alone Mississippi's holding that. I don't know how long they're going to hold it.
Ah, look at that run.
Okay, watch that right. You heard him. Oh, here they come. Look east, guys.
Arms. Save your stamina.
Here they come.
Never live it.
And it's
Never
breaking.
live it. Shoot, run away. Shoot and run away.
So looks like you're just trying to kill a couple, maybe Union off that flank for a couple more seconds and back off. Not a bad idea at all. Don't want to get overwhelmed by Union force and lose a good amount of guys up forward, so not a bad idea. Union should get this flag back. But 16 minutes left. Generally want to hit a defender down to the breaking mark by the 10-minute mark. So, I mean, Union, in terms of getting CSA tickets down, they're doing good, but they're down a considerable amount. So, we'll see what they do here. Now, again, 5-minute despawn timer, so Union probably won't get their flags back for another 2.5, 3 minutes. And they won't get up to the line for another 4 or so minutes. But, I mean, Union was kind of able to win the shootout, so they might be fine with sitting back and shooting. But, again, a guy dies, he's going to come back, so you're going to see this Union trickle for a while, which I don't know if those few numbers are really going to change the shootout. So, you actually have a fair amount of CSA guys crouching behind the rocks here, which is not a bad idea. They're just outright trying to play the time. But if they do die, it's triple the amount of losses in terms of tickets. If you're standing up by a bunch of guys, you're in formation, you lose 1 ticket per death. If you're crouching by a lot of people, like we see in front of us, and you die, that's 3 tickets lost. Or if you're just standing up by 2 other people, you're in skirmishing. And if you're out by yourself, it's on a line, and that's 5 tickets lost.
Carolinians on the rocks.
So, and I mean, they're in pretty good cover too, so it's not the worst thing in the world, right? I normally don't like crouching, but if you're in an absolute cover, you know, might as well do it. Also, your reload's a little longer when crouching.
Straight northwest, boys. They're shooting from there. There's a big blob there. Northwest. Big blob.
Big blob.
Keep up the fire, boys.
So, looks like those flags have in fact despawned, so Union should be getting them back soon. If not, yeah, look at it spawned in. Look at this flag. It's a beautiful flag, isn't it?
Follow us, buddy.
So, Union's got their flags back. Going to take them a minute or 2 to get up. And, I mean, they're going to get CSA down to breaking by the 12-11 minute mark, which is good. Which, honestly, Union, because they have been aggressive, and they actually, I mean, even though Union didn't hold that CSA right flank when they pushed up, they still got a lot of kills. And, I mean, it brought everyone down a considerable amount. So, in the end, I mean, it's great. And Union's slowly starting to catch back up, it looks like, at least with the shootout. But because of that aggression, and it worked a little bit, Union's kind of afforded themselves more time to kind of sit and shoot this out if they want. This match, in all likelihood, is going to go down to the 0 seconds. Or down to the wire. It'll be close. I mean, it's really going to depend on the shootout. Union could shoot this out for, you know, the next 3-4 minutes, see where they're at. And then if they want to charge at that point, they can.
At 12 minutes, hold fire. At 12 minutes, hold fire.
12 minutes, hold fire. So Union's going to go in again. Which, we'll see what happens. If Union just needs to do what they did last time and hope that CSA makes a similar mistake.
Guys, why are you standing on the rocks? Because it's fun. Get
You get in our line of fire. And don't you dare smooth that line.
Looks like they're making
So
Spread the line and keep up the
they have the flags. I mean, all right. This charge is going to really probably just honestly, it's probably going to be the make or break moment for this game. This next charge. Because in all likelihood, Union could very much be in a middle to lower braking by the time this charge is over, and looks like they're going to opt to go right in the center. Maybe trying to get up onto the stone wall, use it as an advantage.
Oh no! You can't taste it.
Part of it's going to be... Look, Union's doing a split charge again. CSA looks like they're trying to out and around them right now. Which, nice little move here from the 42nd and 30th. I don't know why Union did what they did 2 charges ago when they just mass charged the whole CSA line. They did something brilliant last charge, which was just hitting the flank, and yet they just did a mass charge. They charged some guys on the CSA left part of their line. They charged some up the center, and then they kind of charged guys over here. It was more CSA 42nd going through there, but that was a terrible charge from Union.
Oh, fuck.
Boy, we're gonna come back and fight.
So, at this point, the round's pretty much over. Yeah, that was the deciding charge, that's for sure. Not that great of a charge from the Union side. Right. You can lose games, like there's certain maps. Like, you could argue last round, you can argue this map. There's, like, High Street 2, River Crossing, which, River Crossing, there's really no strategy with it, but you can lose games, but you can still lose games good. And Union's probably played a 6.5 out of 10 so far, I would say. I mean, the biggest mistakes has been the 2 charges they've done this game where they just mass charged the CSA line instead of just going for a CSA flank. Because the one time Union charged the CSA far right, they broke it and they held because CSA had poor response time. And when you charge the whole line like that, CSA doesn't really have to react quickly, because if Union's charging your whole line, everyone in CSA is going to be involved.
Keep on CQB on your star.
So, we'll see what happens. At this point, Union can either try to sit and shoot this out for a couple more minutes before they hit final push and that black timer drops. But that's only going to knock CSA down at most, probably a third of a morale stage before Union hits final push. Or Union could just charge straight in, which it would probably be a little closer if they sat and shot for a few minutes and then charged in. But, because I mean, at this point, regardless of when they charge, they're going to hit final push. So probably the better option is just to, sit, shoot this out for a few minutes, and then go in. Mississippi holding their little aggressive stance again. Taking their shot and falling back.
Run away.
Run, give up.
How does that make sense?
I got you, Onyx.
So, geez, it might not even be a third of morale stage. Union's going to hit it any second.
On the new line, boys. Form on the new line. Spread out. Spread out.
Who is this guy? Big Poppy Chulo, the greatest mic I've ever heard in my life. My goodness, promote this man.
Come on, boys. Form on
Absolutely
the line.
beautiful.
Flag, pull it back to the other flag, please. Yo, Smack, go to the other flag, please. Stay back.
What was that sound effect? You got some Union guys going center side of the map. Looks like they're just maybe trying to get a different angle, but I mean, it's I guess they're not shooting. Maybe they're just waiting for something.
Dragon.
Yeah, Sean.
It's really open.
I'd say yes.
8 guards trade.
So,
Where's he going?
I really wonder if the only chance Union has at winning this is to try to rush this far right side and capture the point from here. Because you can capture the point from here. And I mean, this side hasn't worked a lot, but I mean, we'll see. 9th Corps and HL is doing a little sneaky move. I mean, at this point, right, if Union just takes the point, they'll win. They hit final push. You got a lot of the Union now. Looks like they're dive bombing center, which is nice. HL and 9th Corps moving right on the point exactly. It looks like most of the Union blob here is just going to try to distract the CSA. How is CSA going to respond? That's really going to kind of decide how this goes. CSA kind of trying to arch out, hit the Union in the rear. Union just got to turn around. They got to hold for another 30-45 seconds, which is going to be difficult, but we'll see. Flags are kind of a big thing, which Union has 3 of them down already. That's not a good sign for Union. So Union is taking it still. A large amount of Union guys on it. A lot of CSA focus on getting those flags. It's giving Union a window of opportunity here. Union, though, does not have a flag up here. So this is... It's probably gonna... crap, this is way closer than what I was anticipating it to be. CSA starting to take it back. That's not really surprising. It was close. Union has to hit CSA in the final or last stand now, or else it's going to be very difficult for them to. It's going to be more difficult for them to win this, anyways. And that looks like that. So that's unfortunate for Union because you want to hit someone into last stand at a very beginning of a charge, because when a team hits last stand, the defenders hit last stand, they will, if someone is dead, they respawn. So if you you charge someone and you melee for like a minute and then they hit last stand, everyone who died in that first minute of the melee for the defending team is automatically respawned. So that's why Union wanted to hit CSA in the last stand. Now, if Union hits CSA in the charge they're going to do in probably 30-45 seconds, if they hit them in the last stand right away, great. No issue then. However, Union does not want to charge for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and then CSA hits last stand. Obviously, you want to hit people down morale stages sooner, but that's more of the logic behind it, at least as it pertains to the game. So, Union gets their flags again. They're starting to form up. Some guys are spreading out already. It looks like maybe they're just trying to trickle forward and maybe get a kill or two. Maybe see if they can hit him in the last stand, per se. Because, again, Union tickets don't matter at this point.
I like shreddies, man.
Crazy.
I like
So, they don't even need a whistle to charge. They just need that guy's mic, and it'd be glorious. Anyways, here comes Union. CSA is condensed on this point, so Union doesn't have to worry about her flanks, which means they probably have a chance with their flags. But when will CSA at last stand? CSA already gets a good shot, knocks down a lot of guys, kills that momentum. Perfect timing for Union. They hit last stand. Union's got a minute. Union just needs to keep the flags alive. CSA, nothing really matters at this point in terms of flags. Little defensive little wall here that they got. Union needs more bodies on point when the clock hits 0 to force an overtime. Similar with CSA, if they get more bodies on the point when the clock hits 0, they'll pull this off. Union keeping their flags, they're rushing the flags in. Oh no. And CSA, at least theirs, holding it. Looks like you got some Union that charged the bottom side, but it looks like CSA is going to take this. I mean, Union just needs a majority when clock hits 0, but there's not a lot of Union left. So, I mean, overall, considering how close it was at the end, Union played a really good round. I don't know why some of their flag bearers charged up to the stone wall there at the end. It got very close. But you get they want to be in the action, but you can't lose those flags in the situation Union in. But CSA did what they need to do. Union, those 2 charges that were very spread out, that killed them. If they would have been more concentrated, Union would have done a lot better. CSA was very slow to respond to the 1 charge that Union did correct. So, you know, as of late, this map, CSA has won it a lot, but the past couple times I've seen it, Union has played it a lot more competitively, which is good to see. But maybe it's CSA mistakes as well. But regardless, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have our Discord, our Clips channel, and more in the description as well. Regardless, I appreciate you all for doing this, or watching, and really means a lot being able to do this on a weekend by weekend basis and having everyone's support. Could not do this without you all. We'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.